Hey, what's up and welcome back to Fiverr Talks. Today we're talking about Fiverr's biggest problem. That's right, we're going to talk about this problem and what it's going to mean for you in the future, so make sure you stick around for the entire video. Well, thank you so much for taking time out to join me for today's video. If you don't know who I am, my name is Joel Young. I'm a top-rated seller and one of Fiverr's all-time top earners. I go under the username DJ Young on Fiverr, and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I offer videos just like this to help you become the best possible Fiverr seller you can be. So if you're interested in more videos like this, then consider subscribing. So back to today's topic, you might be wondering, what is Fiverr's biggest problem and how or is it affecting me? Well, the truth is it's affecting all of us, and it's a platform problem that I believe came from its infancy, started at its roots, and has grown to be a more significant problem as the platform has grown and matured over the years. You know, it's been about 10 years for Fiverr to grow and figure some of these things out, and in the beginning it was slow going, but now I think they're getting a better handle on what their issues are and how to fix them. So, in my opinion, what's Fiverr's biggest problem today? Well, I think it's the lack of differentiation between sellers, meaning that it's harder for buyers to tell who are the best sellers, who are the intermediate sellers, and who are the terrible sellers that I don't want to work with. My guess is that for most of you watching this video, you fall somewhere in the upper tier of sellers on Fiverr, and thus this differentiation is hurting you. This inability for customers to come to the website, quickly find the best possible sellers for the service they're looking for, is hurting your ability to make more sales. And I believe this goes all the way back to the beginning when Fiverr started back in 2010 with a thumbs up or thumbs down system. That's right, if you didn't know that, this is how Fiverr's rating system started. This is the way it was when I started. Sellers didn't have 5 stars and 3 categories to rate their transaction. They simply said, was this a positive experience or a negative experience? And they left 1 of 2 ratings. That made it very easy for lots of sellers to get thumbs up, to get positive reviews, and thus climb the ranks to level 1, level 2, and top rated seller. So, what did Fiverr do? Back then, they had something called super sellers, which were editor-selected sellers that had done a really great job, quality of work, customer service. They would select us as super sellers, and actually, I was selected as a super seller back in 2015, and it really meant nothing. There was not even an extra badge on your profile. They wrote a little Fiverr blog article about you and your work, advertised it a little bit, and that was the end of it. It didn't help people who were buying in the future, other than you could say, hey, look at this cool article. I'm a super seller. Fiverr picked me. And this is the way things went until about 2015, 2016, when Fiverr changed to their current 5-star system, which back then is not what it was now. It's not 3 categories of 5-star. Then it was just a simple 5-star system, like you would rate a product on Amazon. And when this switchover happened, sellers were going crazy. I knew a lot of Fiverr sellers that were signing petitions and putting things out there to say, this is unfair. They're rating us on 5 stars. And I personally was elated because I knew this was an issue on the platform, that it was hard to differentiate who were the best sellers. There were a lot of top-rated sellers. How could people find the right seller for them and the best possible seller in each niche? So this 5-star system began to weed out the differences between people. 3 and 4 and 5-star reviews became a reality for more people instead of just a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And I believe this is why Fiverr created the pro category a little bit later, to further differentiate who are the pros on the platform and who are the regular Joes on the platform. Now, my opinion is that this has not gone over the way that Fiverr intended it to. They wanted the pro section to be something much more than it is today. And in fact, a lot of the way they've advertised the pro section and marketed it and placed it within the site, now they're integrating pro section results in with regular results. It means that the pro category didn't offer the differentiation they were looking for because it really didn't differentiate Fiverr sellers. It brought in a new category of Fiverr sellers. You know, these are people who oftentimes, in a lot of the worlds I'm in, ran agencies, or they just simply started using Fiverr as another revenue stream, another way to generate income because Fiverr gave them incentives and made it easy for them to hop onto the platform. So I don't think that had the desired effect, which leads us to our modern version of Fiverr's review process that has 3 categories on 5 stars. There are secret questions after the reviews to ask customers about value. There's all kinds kinds of labels, which you're going to hear me talking a lot more here about on the channel, explaining these things. A lot of you have questions about them. What is Fiverr's choice? What is promoted? What is business? In fact, I think the Fiverr business category is something that's new and interesting. It's a way that Fiverr is segmenting off some of their top tier gigs or top tier sellers and marketing them to business people. So I'm going to do an entire video on this on Wednesday. You want to make sure you come back and watch that video, because this really could help you set yourself up for future success in the Fiverr business category. But this new system is being cultivated and created with one singular purpose, and that is to provide more differentiation for potential buyers between the sellers they're seeing on the platform. In fact, I believe everything Fiverr is doing to date is trying to solve this problem. This is actually why top-rated seller status is now a manual upgrade. Many of you have asked me about this. You've said, I've hit level 1, I hit level 2, then my stats hit top-rated seller status. In other words, I was eligible to become a top-rated seller, but they didn't upgrade me. What does that mean? How do I handle that? And the truth is, there's nothing you can do about it but continue to do quality work, because now that's a manual upgrade. Fiverr wants to help differentiate the top-rated seller status even more by handpicking people like they did with super sellers in the beginning to be top-rated sellers, so hopefully in the future it will mean more. But the biggest problem that's come out of all of this for you, the Fiverr seller, is that many people are now petrified to get anything less than a 5-star review. It's a really bad system for sellers when they're terrified to get a 4-star review. I've had people ask questions like, I got a 4.3-star review, what do I do? Can I offer this guy a cancellation? Can I get rid of this? My reaction is always the same. Don't worry as much about those bad reviews as you are, because there's nothing you can do about them. They cannot be edited anymore. But I realize that you're worried because this is the system we're in with Fiverr. Everybody seems to have 5-star across the board or 4.9. And if you have anything less, are you going to be an outcast? Are people just going to overlook you? Well, we're going to address that in future videos. But right now, we're just going to say that it is an issue that has been created by the Fiverr review process, and one that we're struggling through. So with all this in mind, I thought it'd be a great time to ask our question of the day right above my head. What do you think is Fiverr's biggest problem? This is what I think Fiverr's biggest problem is, but I want to know, do you agree? Do you see something else on the platform as a bigger problem? Leave us your answer in the comments down below. Tag it with QOTD so everyone can hear your opinion. The whole purpose of this video is to kind of bring light to this issue, the history of the issue for you sellers, but also help you understand what this means you can expect for the future. Because I believe this issue and Fiverr's behavior in trying to solve this issue, which, by the way, is positive, is great. We're so thankful that they recognize this, or they seem to recognize this, and are trying to solve this issue for us sellers so the future of the platform is better. So take heart, things will be better in the future. But here's what I think you can expect. Here's 3 things I think you can expect because this is an issue for the future of your selling career on Fiverr. The first thing I think you can expect if you're going to be a seller in the future on Fiverr is that Fiverr will continue to put great effort into differentiating sellers from each other. I don't have any idea how they're going to do it, but I know just by watching them that they're going to make more of an effort to differentiate sellers, put them in different categories, kind of tilt their services toward the buyers that they think are going to be most interested in their product. And so this is a good thing because Fiverr is going to put more effort into making you, if you're a great seller, stand out. And if you're a not so great seller, encourage you to improve your quality of your deliverable and your service so that you have a more defined way to climb up the ranks, which oftentimes is a very hard thing to figure out on Fiverr and frustrates a lot of people. The second thing I think you can expect, at least in the short term, is more of these badges, which we'll talk about in future videos in more length, but badges like Fiverr's Choice, Promoted, Business, all these different little badges that are popping up to let you know how a sale came to you. These badges are ways that Fiverr's going to use their influence to point potential buyers to what seems to be the best fit for them and their project. It's Fiverr's way of using their influence to show people very quickly what they believe is the best choice in a category or a search term. You could possibly see different things like maybe best value or most viewed or highest rated, maybe things like this. I don't know, I'm making this up, but I'm just kind of looking at what Fiverr's done and saying it makes sense to me that they would use these badges more in the future to differentiate different things about each seller and each gig they offer to help buyers find what they're looking for even quicker. And the third thing I think you can expect, this is no surprise given the video I made last week, is I think you can expect sellers who offer the greatest value proposition to be the most popular on the platform, experience the most success. It seems that Fiverr is extremely concerned about measuring value and finding sellers that offer a great quality product at a really reasonable price. It doesn't mean they want super high quality and super cheap prices. They want to find that value proposition that is a perfect fit for each buyer right in the middle. So I believe that sellers who offer the greatest value to their niche and their market are going to be the ones that Fiverr promotes and pushes forward in the search results. I think you can see that very clearly in the near future and probably in the distant future as we continue to see Fiverr evolve. Hey, thanks so much for joining me for this episode of Fiverr Talks. If you're new to the channel and haven't already, consider subscribing by clicking this button over here, or if you're looking for the next video to watch, might I suggest this one? It's a pretty good one.